Yeah, good evening, everyone. Lorenzo Jensen here alongside Bryce Williamson, and we have got a great BCIHL matchup for you tonight. We are going to be in store for what should be an absolute banger. The VIU Mariners hosting the UVic Vikes, and what is basically round 2 of 2 here, a little mini set into the new year. And last night, at the Ian Stewart Complex in Victoria, the University of Victoria Vikes manufactured a 4-goal second period, and 2 of those goals were power play markers. And quite a performance by the University of Victoria Vikes in the middle frame, and it was enough to guide them to a 6-3 win last night on home at the Ian Stewart Complex. So the VIU Mariners will be looking for a small measure of revenge as we step aside for the anthem. Your starting lineup for the University of Victoria Vikes this evening. I can tell you that Kyle Crew and Owen Evers, they'll be on this starting lineup. Number 33, once again in goal, Ronan Garrity, who had a big performance last night. And the Vikes are turning to him again in goal. Matthew Fleet, he's been absolutely spectacular this season, the former Kimberley Dynamiter of the KIJHL, a big 6'4" goaltender, but the amazing thing is the way that he skates, and you might want to keep an eye on his fluid motions in the crease tonight. I'm telling you, he's really an agile and fluid goaltender for such a stand-up goalie. And we're underway, the University of Victoria Vikes with the opening face-off, and they work it D to D as it's played in by Kyle Crew. Marko Tokic heading in after this puck. Ryan Hunter goes into the corner, digging around for the puck. A small 4-man scrum. Tokic giving him all sorts of problems off the backside. Nolan Wickham backs up at the point, but he gave Jones some room to skate over to the far side. There's a pass into the middle and looking for the quick tip to the middle for Ethan Jones out of the corner. Wickham tried the backhand saucer to Jones, but he wasn't quite ready for that one. It's up near side boards. Jones goes to pinch, gets the puck as Crew goes flying, reaching for that puck, and Crew looks a little bit worse for the wear after that bump in. There's a steal from behind the goal. Burgesson came in and stole the puck, and he played it out front, but unfortunately, no Mariners home at that moment, but they've tipped the puck in, and once again, into Vikes territory they go. Puck is moved around the boards by Sam Lewis, the former Kamloops Storm. Puck is on the point, snapshot. That one goes off of a leg, and it bounces up high, knocked down by the Vikes. Oh, and a heavy collision. McKnight got sandwiched in between McGuire, and I'm sure there's a little bit of a joke in there somewhere, but I kid you not, at the blue line, you could just see it formulating and all 3 players coming together. And unfortunately for McKnight, Justin McKnight, he was right in the middle of that one, and he takes a solid bump. So already the VIU Mariners, they're playing physical, and that rub out on Kyle Crew, that was an indicator. Face-off win by the Vikes. Shot bounces off of a body in front. And that was Cole McGuire getting in front of that one. Puck flips out in front of the Mariners goal, and there's a hit by Strom. And that got the crowd into it. Now on the back check, though. 3-on-3 they come. Pickle on the near side, shoots. Oh, that was a deceptive shot as he went low. And now it's played up the far side boards, maybe a little too far for Carson Earhart. And getting in on goal is Power, and he's going to give his opponent a little bit of a push and shove. And Sam Lewis, as he backs into his goaltender, took exception to that. And I wonder if anything's going to come of it. But look at that nice, calm, collected play by Ronan Garrity. He just took the puck and he skates it over to the face-off circle and drops it off. It wasn't the right face-off circle, but it was the right idea. He says, come on, guys, let's play hockey. Face-off win by Corbett. Moody from the point, he took that shot, and it went off of the back maybe of Landon Strom. And now he's going to come to the near side. Moody gets to the puck first. Deposits for Power. Returns back to the umbrella formation. And now the cycle is on for the Mariners. Landon Strom shooting, and that's into the glove. Ronan Garrity got a clear sight line, and he snags that one in the trapper for save number 3 for Ronan Garrity, a former Burnaby Steeler in the Pacific Junior Hockey League. Speaking of the PJHL, a shout out to one of my colleagues, Andrew Meadwell, and of course, longtime friend. Went to broadcasting school together. There's a nice tip in by Ways, and it's knifed in high. Catelier activates, and he's going to get to the puck on the far side into the slot backhand. Fought off rebound on the backhand jam. Just about back door for Austin Daniels. Huge moment there, and Garrity was very alert to come across as he did, but I don't know if he could have got there. There's a sharp angle chance, and that's off the heel of the stick. Zion Lavoie, former West Shore Wolf of the VIJHL, towards the net. Oh, and that was dangerous. Super alert. Ronan Garrity, he had to be very alert as that puck made it through to him from about 18 feet out. And I don't know if it was meant to be a clear back towards the goaltender or if that was a purposeful shot by the Mariners, but either way, if it goes into the net, that's a 1-0 lead for the Mariners, but we're still goose eggs on the board. Ethan Jones got some help from his winger to win that face-off. And Earhart along the near side boards follows in as Ryan Hunter does some work. The Squamish product throws it towards the middle, and that one just bouncing off the defenseman. Mariners trying to force the issue along the far boards. One push and now two, but the puck flutters up in the air, and at the blue line, it will get outside the line, despite the battle there from Nolan Wickham, who throws a shoulder at the blue line and gives the Mariners a chance to re-enter. Once again, it's sent off of the glass and out to Wickham at center ice. He's going to peel for a change. There's a turnover, though, at the red line, and now coming in on goal, Crew, backhand shovel to the net, and he nearly hooked up right in front of the net as he sent that backhander in. And at the blue line, Jones got his stick in there, and Scott, who had that good chance, he bats it inside the Mariners zone, but the Mariners are going to take a little bit of time here and get the outlet they want. Jackson Goods plays it to his own blue line, hard rifling pass. Burgesson, I think he did get a touch, and that's good on him. That was a hard puck to control, let alone get a piece of. Here's the counterattack. Smith speeding in over the line, hoping for a little bit of help, waiting for Jason Scott as the fourth line plies their trade here. And the Mariners will guide it up through the middle ice area. Cook with one in front of the goal, straddles, and he shoots the puck. That one running right through the crease, no one able to pick up. And now on the far side, moving in, Lucas Byrne towards the goal, and it's swept around by Matt Fleet. I told you he can get out nice and calm and collected, and he met that puck easily, sweeping it behind the net. And again, and there's something happening on the far side of the ice. One of the Mariners is really hurt. Down in a heap. Puck is bouncing around in front of the goal, and this is surely got to be a stoppage in play soon, but the Mariners need possession. Newens is hurt. Shot on goal, and now finally Cage Newens, he can get off to the bench as he's doubled over, and I think it's something to do with either his midsection or his right arm or wrist, but he went down in a heap right away, and he was favoring what I think was his right arm, and he's still hunched over on the bench as he heads down and has a seat. I don't know if he'll go down the tunnel, but we'll want to keep an eye on that, and that would be a big loss for the Mariners, especially this early into the contest. Such an important part. The former Humboldt Bronco on their second line from behind the net. In front, oh, scores! Blake Power on the give and go. Landon Strom sets him up with a beautiful pass from below the goal line, and the Mariners grab a 1-0 lead on home ice. Landon Strom from Choiceland, Saskatchewan with a seeing eye pass, and someone like Blake Power, he's just going to show you his accuracy and his skill when he gets a chance like that, and he puts it upstairs over the blocker side of Ronan Garrity. And just like last night, the Mariners, they get first blood. Now they just need to try and keep the momentum. There's a nice backhand pass, maybe one-on-one. Catelier puts on the brakes, waiting for help. He's gonna do a button hook, pardon me, that was Corbett. Plays it down to the face-off circle. There's the leave, out of the corner, shot. Oh, and Strom just rips that one wide, and they're giving him ice time. And oh, here's an intercept though at the line, trying to get away. Andrew Castellato tried to break loose, and he would have had some company, but his teammates are gassed, and they're going to complete the change. Out comes Sweeney and Strange for the Vikes, and we got a penalty coming up as the Mariners get possession and haven't conceded yet. They're going to get their goaltender to the bench. 2-on-1, Jones through the crease. Oh, and he was reaching, but the puck never made it there. Trying to slide it across. Catelier almost made it through, and the former Selkirk Steeler, Matthew Catelier, just had that puck out of the reach of leading scorer Ethan Jones, and that's always exciting stuff when you got a player of his caliber breaking in. So Tom Sweeney, he's in the penalty box, and now the Mariners with the chance to increase their lead, and what fortunate it would be if they would be able to pull that off. Earhart to the near side. Jones snaps it, and that's blocked by the defender in front. Marco Tokic forcing his body up along the end boards. Good to see Newens back out there. So Landon Strom, Brandon Moody getting assists on that opening goal. Jones for the tip on the back door. Oh, and a big save. Right pad save. Ronan Garrity doing his best splits impersonation there. Puck is up in the air, bounces in the crease. Newens is all tied up, and he's appealing for a penalty. He couldn't get his stick on the puck. Moody at the point. Loads, fakes the shot. Near side to Jones. Rides the top of the face-off circle on the drop to Moody. Up to the umbrella. Snapshot blocked. And now here's a race for the puck. Back they come. Ryan Strange. And he's caught up to, but he backhands the puck across the crease to Daniel. Booker Daniel in the backhand. A sharp angle chance off of the left pad and the outside of goaltender Matthew Fleet. Back they come. Earhart, 48 seconds to go in the PP. Slapped off the boards, not out. Kept alive at the point. Wickham pulls to the inside. Pass through the crease, diving out to cover it. Ronan Garrity. And good eye by Garrity to spot the broken play and dive on the puck. And that's another stop for number 33. And he's piling them up early. That's save number 8 on shot number 9, as the VIU Mariners are going to work on some redemption here tonight. Face off over to the left of Ronan Garrity. Puck is snapped off the boards, and that's going to get outside the zone. McGuire did everything he could to get there. Now 30 seconds remaining in the power play as they regroup in their own zone. Mariners 3 deep as they bring it out off of the right side. Burgesson in flight, has Corbett in the middle, puts on the brakes, feeds the point. 15 seconds left in the power play. Out of the corner, Burgesson as they try and set up, mostly working the right side. Now Nolan Wickham across the crease, snapshot, big save. Ronan Garrity's down, and he got it off of his left shoulder, and the puck is out. And that is going to be the end of the Mariners' power play. So they get 2 shots on the power play, and they were both good grade shots. But Ronan Garrity standing tall for the UVic Vikes helps keep this a 1-goal lead for the Mariners instead of a couple. Off of the outside, Daniels looking for some help in the middle. Sent it aerial. I think it went off of one of the Vikes sticks, and they're going to just poke it out to center. Lavoie got a piece of it. Hard pass up to the middle. Blake Power has the goal. Shot, and that's swallowed up. Ronan Garrity squeezing that right arm as the shot came in just right around his right rib cage, maybe a little bit lower. And he squeezes that blocker side arm and paddle up against his body, and it's a save for shot number 11. We're just about near the midway point of the period. Shot off of the face-off, and it's a rifling one up high. Blake Power, he's letting shots go now. Behind the net, Kyle Crew puts on the brakes. Gets it up as far as the halfway point of the boards. There's a shot from Jackson Good. Rebound in front of the goal, and down into the butterfly, and coming across, Ronan Garrity tight to the post. Goods, hard pass. That's going to maybe create a turnover here. Kyle Crew, and he just gently backhands it in deep. He's going to allow them a chance to get in, and there's Matt Fleet. Look at him out there, stick handling with aplomb, and the Mariners get it out, no problem. They'll get a change, partial one anyways. Out comes Owen Ways as the puck is sent in cross ice, and from their side of center, so the University of Victoria Vikes charged with icing. The VIU Mariners want to thank their title sponsor, Tom Harris Community Foundation, enhancing the quality of life in our community. There's a face-off win by the Mariners. Back to the point it goes. Moody shooting off of a skate, and that's a good save. Ronan Garrity adjusts to the redirect. Hook towards center, but Ways, he's going to backhand it. A double pass from Daniels on the inset. Backhander, and that one's up. Oh, he was looking sharp side, and that's a really good save by Ronan Garrity to snag that. Owen Ways was trying to catch him, trying to catch the goaltender moving away from that far side post, and he was hoping that he would cheat just enough that he could open up, and he put that puck where it needed to go. If Ronan Garrity doesn't make that save, I'm telling you, it is definitely a 2-0 lead for the Mariners. A sneaky backhand shot by Owen Ways as he tried to get the goaltender to leave his far side posts early. So while we have our little break in play, I'm just going to reload my page from the other action that's happening tonight. Yes, things have changed. Good thing I reloaded. So in Kelowna, the Okanagan Lakers, they are taking on Logan Lake Miners, and it's now 3-2. It was a 2-1 game, so they've exchanged goals here in the second period. So I'll give you a quick rundown here. So Brown opening the scoring, and that was at the 16:37 mark from Chimago and Fleming. Maddie replying for the Logan Lake Miners. And Carmichael scoring there. Boyarski and Rasmussen, the other ones. There's been 3 power play goals in that 5-goal game. So it tells you how important the power plays have been tonight. There's a nice little shovel dish. Potential 2-on-1. Earhart near side for Ways. Shoots, and that's right into the crest of goaltender Ronan Garrity. And there's already some pushing and shoving. Sam Lewis steps in, and he's playing sheriff right now as he made sure Daniels doesn't get any closer to the crease or any potentially loose rebound, but it looks like a full change by both teams here. So Byrne, Pickle, and Daniel coming out for the University of Victoria Vikes. And I'll tell you why there's I hesitate here sometimes when I mention either one of the 77s. There's a face-off win. 77 there clearing the puck. That's Daniel. of course, for the UVic Vikes. And there's an Austin Daniels, 77 for the Mariners, off the near side. Shot, and that sticked away to the corner, Nolan Wickham. And I'm sure you can see how that would kind of trip up lesser broadcasters. There's a tip off the stick, but it's a rolling puck in on goaltender Ronan Garrity, and he's proven he's more than equal to that task. But it will count as a shot. That's shot 17 for the Mariners. It made its way to the crease, and it forced a save out of the goaltender. And want to thank Bryce Williamson on the camera tonight, giving you a real nice look at the action. There's a wraparound near side, and that one nearly made its way around from the back of the net by Blake Power. On the near side, Earhart holds. One-time shot through traffic, and Ronan Garrity, he snatches that up. And that's going to be a stoppage in play. So the shots now, the VIU Mariners 18, and the UVic Vikes, they've got 3 shots on goaltender Matt Fleet. So you could see the danger for goaltender Matt Fleet. Not very busy, but a couple of times when he's had to be, they've been grade A chances. Vikes lucky to get it out to center ice as Crew had to go back and help get it the rest of the way. Byrne on the forecheck. Over the line he comes, and he's offside as he didn't have control, hitting Wickham along the near side boards. So it'll be a face-off outside of the Mariners' blue line. Tom Sweeney on the right wing for the Vikes, and he plays the puck back. Marko Tokic, he'll head back, and his goaltender says, hey, how about over to the right? And that's exactly what they do. Puck is off of a stick. There's Cook on the backside. Chase Cook from Merritt, BC, and played with the University of Dubuque Spartans in the NCAA, and that's why you can tell he has wheels and he's got that extra gear. Marko Tokic forcing his will down along the boards. Owen Evers off of the far side boards. That's backhanded high and out towards center by the Mariners. And out of danger, Cole McGuire, who played for the Carleton Place Canadians in the CCHL, on the defense for the Mariners. There's a hard hit by Landon Strom, and for my money, he's been one of the best Mariners in this opening period. He was instrumental in that opening goal for the Mariners, and that's where we stand right now. As I mentioned, Blake Power getting things started here for the Mariners, and he's got the check mark here so far. And as mentioned, a helper from Landon Strom and Brandon Moody. Face off to the left of Matt Fleet. Hard pass to the far side, looking backdoor for Zion Lavoie, but he can't pick that one up. Good diving effort there by the Vikes as they play it into the corner. Mason Hartley, and oh, there's a hard hit. Look at that, the door swings open. That hit was, now in all fairness, that is the gate that's opened for both teams coming in and out of the the tunnel and the home change room. Although, in all fairness, that is not the entrance area that the VIU Mariners use. They have their own allocated dressing room area. Based on where the camera is now, it would be down to your right on the near side. So when you see the action on goaltender Matt Fleet, down in that corner of the ice, that's where the Mariners have their dressing room. And of course, that's where Chris Jones, the head coach, Bill Morrison, they help get things set up. There's a win on the face-off to the point. Kyle Crew defers to the point, into the middle, backhand as the Mariners serving a penalty here, and I no sooner talked about Chase Cook. So Cook does get a boarding call. I think the aesthetics of the gate opening up maybe helped that call along a little bit, but it's good that no one was hurt on the play. That's definitely my first concern. Those open doors on hits, those are very dangerous situation. Puck takes a funny ride up high. Oh, and a good stick on the backhand by Blake Power as he feeds the puck down ice. And the Vikes, they'll get swinging out of their own zone here. Crew, far side pass. It's a tidy one onside, but a little stick handle bobble there, and that gives up possession for the UVic Vikes. Battle in behind the goal inside the Vikes territory as the Mariners try and kill some more time on this PK. Crew is going to go for escape, but Matthew Catelier doing great work as he's just not letting them get a clean sight line for passing, but they are onside as they enter the zone, and another stick by Blake Power, and oh no, pardon me, that wasn't Blake Power for the Mariners. That was Tyson Pausé. Here's the turnover. Power now shoots. Puck dribbles off of the stick of Landon Strom, and that's been a good line tonight. They've caused all sorts of consternation in the defensive end for the UVic Vikes. Puck rifled off the boards, somehow kept in, but it is a hand pass as Owen Evers got his stick on it, the former Victoria Cougar of the VIJHL, and so far this season he's got 3 goals, 4 assists for 7 points, and so he's been a very welcome offensive addition for the UVic Vikes, and especially against a team like the VIU Mariners, who, when they get the offensive sticks going and they get that power play ramped up, hard to stop. Castellato on the near side, holding up, takes a shot. That's Cole McGuire, shakes off his glove as that one hit him, and the puck is sent down ice. And that's an icing call against the Mariners, even though Chase Cook tried to get out there and dive, touch it, make sure it wasn't, but they're saying that there was no touch on the play as he drove out to the blue line. And so with the shots 20-4 and the score 1-0 VIU Mariners, 1 goal to tell you about, that's Blake Power. And a beautiful setup from below the goal line. That opened up scoring here, and that's where we've been ever since. We're down to about 5 minutes here in this opening frame. And thank you so much for joining us tonight. Love having you with us for Saturday night hockey, and what better way to do it than ring it in with the Vikes and the Mariners. It is as much of a rivalry in the BCIHL, I would say, as there is between any two teams. That puck offside adjudged by the linesman as Ethan Jones tried to pick up the puck on the inside of the blue line, and his teammate hadn't quite cleared yet, Carson Earhart, so that's an icing call. So a face-off outside of the UVic Vikes blue line. A little bit of jousting between Jason Scott and Hunter, who has to brace for a hit. But now Hunter off of that face-off win. Jones, he's being all sorts of watched by Kyle Crew, who dogs him all the way to his own blue line. He'll start over. Jones thought about dropping. Waiting for Wickham. Now the delayed call coming up, so there's 6 attackers for the Mariners. Puck is played inside the line, but it doesn't really matter except for perhaps an opportunity to get a shot on Ronan Garrity before the power play begins. Archie Johnstone Plumbing and Heating, thank you for sponsoring the Mariners. That's where community and comfort come together. And Original Joe's, the official post-game meal for the VIU Mariners. There's a stalemate in the face-off over to the left of Ronan Garrity, and the puck is sent all the way down ice here to start the Mariners power play. 4 deep as Hunter spins and heads up towards the middle, but that pass was a little bit hopeful, and Earhart didn't see it coming. Brandon Moody, who got the assist on the opening goal, he feeds Jones on the near side. Jones works it across, and once again, the return pass. There goes Jones. Fakes to go right, now is going left over the line. Puts on the brakes, hard cross-ice pass, and a good stick in the lane by Reed Fryer, the former Peninsula Panther. Backhand shovel way high, and that gets out Kyle Crew doing Kyle Crew type things. A nice backhand clear by the captain. And that has been a trademark of Vikes hockey, has been strong defense and particularly standout players. Oh, and a hard hit as they react. And now I think the Mariners are going to get a penalty, as there was a hit there on Ryan Strange. And pardon me, I didn't mean to say the captain, pardon me, the alternate captain, Kyle Crew, but his captain, Ryan Strange, he has facilitated a penalty call here. Marco Tokic in the box, though, as Cage Newens heads in. So there was basically it looks like an even up call. Hard to say. It was a collision, and again, the aesthetics were such that the way that the captain, Ryan Strange, went down, they kind of had to do something. And he's out on the ice right now, and after a little bit of discussion, they decide they're going to move the face-off over to the far right side. 3:09, first period. Face-off to the right of Matt Fleet, and that's won by the Mariners. The shots, 20 for the Mariners, 4 for the UVic Vikes, and the Vikes have run into a bit of penalty trouble this period too. Strom feeds the far side. Wickham towards the goal, and that one got deflected way up into the netting. And so it's an interference call against Cage Newens, who, as you recall, earlier in the game, over to what would be his goaltender's right, he suffered what looked like it could possibly be a night-ending injury. He was really holding his wrist, but good on him. He's as tough as a bucket of nuts and bolts. Wickham picks up the puck in his own zone, goes for a little skate behind his goaltender, and now 20 seconds remaining in the penalty against the Vikes, and that one shot in on a sharp angle on Ronan Garrity. And I think that might have heard a small clack off the bottom side of the mask of Ronan Garrity there. Yeah, he's actually going to take it off, and I think that's exactly what happened, as he got his mask rattled a little bit. So we'll take a moment to give him a second to readjust the brain bucket. And we're back live with Catelier in the face-off circle here from the Nanaimo Ice Center, home of the VIU Mariners, and great collegiate hockey. This is BCIHL on the BCIHL YouTube channel, and of course, Rogers 105. Thank you, everyone, for being part of our Saturday night and enjoying a great hockey game here. It's a good one so far. Just one goal between them. Owen Evers inside Mariners territory, takes a bump, plays it to the far side. Kyle Crew's going to have to hustle, and he got there. Now it's a one-on-one, backing up the defense. Go to the middle, Owen Ways, and he's looking for some help. Looks over his shoulder. Takes a little bit of a body there from the defense as Eric Stinson gets in, the former Kerry Park Islander, and he helps tie up Owen Ways long enough to get the puck loose. And now on the near side, there goes Blake Hartley as he chips it in. Dances around one Mariner, but on the backside, Cook was able to play it forward and at least force the issue down ice. Now just 18 seconds. Here's a turnover by the Mariners, shorthanded. Now they get caught from the backside, but a good recovery by Chase Cook. Now he's got to hustle, though. Zion Lavoie trying to get in space. Hold, snaps it just up over the shoulder of Matt Fleet. 3 seconds to go in the penalty to Cage Newens, and he's out on the ice now. Can the Mariners feed him? Yes, they do. And it's a 2-on-1 if they hurry. Newens into the middle. Cook shooting. Oh, and a big stop off of Landon Strom. He tried to go high glove side. Landon Strom, a beautiful pass, but he takes a big hard hit right there. Marco Tokic punishing him there with that hit, and they're going to get a change in, but a great rush by Landon Strom and Cage Newens, who was out of the penalty box. Good read by the Mariners defense. Charging in, Jones on the drop. Carson Earhart can't find the handle, and away come the Vikes, snapping it in from center. Matt Fleet thought about coming out to play it, but he remains in his goal. 28 seconds to go in the period. Mariners are onside. Ethan Jones waiting for help. Tried to go back door, and Earhart braces for a hit. He and Crew, they're going to slug it up a little bit there at the side of the goal. Rebound, backhand jam towards the net. Shot. Oh, and it's blocked in front. Multiple blocks. Look at that defense. 5 Vikes collapse in front of their goaltender. And without his paddle in the crease, the goaltender makes a big stop. And the Vikes avoid going down 2-0 at the end of period number 1. Oh, tense moments as the Vikes needed every hand on deck. They pile 5 deep in front of their goaltender to block that shot. And an amazing stop without his stick. And of course, backup goaltender Eric Clark out to give his starter a tap. He knows it was a great display. 23 shots in that opening period for the VIU Mariners, and they had some busy sticks. 5 the other way from the UVic Vikes. But it is a 1-0 lead for the Mariners. And the lone goal scorer in that period, number 20 from Port Alberni, the former Port Alberni Bomber, Blake Power, the big 5'10", 165-pound wizard-like shooter, picks a corner just up over the blocker side. There wasn't a lot of room, but Blake Power found it, and he converts a gorgeous pass from below the goal line by Landon Strom, who was set up by Brandon Moody. And that's where we are after 20 minutes. The VIU Mariners, of course, with the 1-0 lead, but last night they fell to these same said Victoria Vikes, a 6-3 win. And a couple of players that were noteworthy for the Vikes last night, but particularly J.J. Pickle in his sophomore year, the former North Vancouver Wolfpack player from the PJHL. He was named the game's first star, and he had his name splashed on the score sheet. Just going to take a quick little sip here. Lots of action in that first period to tell you about, so wanted to wind up the crank a little bit here. And again, that's Bryce Williamson right behind the camera, and he's keeping you nice and tight. Things are going to get a little bit noisy in here. We've got live music here tonight, and you should have heard their Led Zeppelin cover that they did earlier. A whole lot of love played in that set too. That was some good stuff, and they're playing right now. So the difference so far is just the 1 goal. Blake Power scoring in that opening period, and as I mentioned, it was just a product of hard work. And Brandon Moody, he got the play started at the blue line, found the pass that he needed to as he set up Landon Strom down below the goal line. And Landon Strom spotted Blake Power coming in just from the bottom of the face-off circle, and he snaps it up over the blocker side of goaltender Ronan Garrity, and that's where we stand after 20 minutes. The other game that is on tap tonight, just going to refresh the page here. And again, you can do it yourself, BCIHL.ca. It's that simple. And I'm just going to reload the page here. So they're right near the end of period number 2, and it's a 4-3 lead. That game was 2-1 not that long ago. So the Okanagan Lakers still with the lead in that one, but the Logan Lake Miners they've really made it interesting. And in that second period, 3 of the 4 goals were power play goals. Colton Boyarski for the Lakers, he was the only one that wasn't a power play goal. But Rasmussen, he had a power play goal. Boyarski had a second goal, and that was a power play marker. So he has his 9th and 10th of the season, Colton Boyarski. Might remember he was at the All-Star BCIHL lineup last season, and I'm sure there's a spot for Colton Boyarski there. And Huth, or Huth actually, I think it's pronounced Huth, he scores a power play marker, and that's where they stand. The Okanagan Lakers with a 4-3 lead just about at the end of the second period. So they got the jump on us here tonight, but we're going to definitely finish strong here inside the Nanaimo Ice Center. We're going to step away, rehydrate a little bit, and as mentioned, Blake Power, he's got the only marker. It's a 1-0 lead for the VIU Mariners, leading the UVic Vikes. And just remember, a little bit of revenge might be on tap in this home-and-home series. 6-3 win last night by the University of Victoria Vikes. Good thing to keep in mind when you're watching this Mariners effort tonight. Period number 2, we're about 10 minutes away. We'll be ready to go here on the BCIHL YouTube channel and Rogers 105. I'm Lorenzo, he's Bryce. We'll be back with more in a moment. do you have to do the intro?
No, we're good.
Okay. Well, there it is. There's the siren coming in. Just about 30 seconds to go before period number 2 in what promises to be a tight, hard-fought second period. Fans are waving homemade signs. And speaking of fans, Don Wickham from Wescotta, Manitoba, says, from the Wickhams at Wescotta, Manitoba. And let's go Vikes, cheering from Vanderhoof, BC. That's Terry Finney Daniel. And Aaron Lee Danforth tuning in from Edmonton. Go Mariners. And yes, the score is accurate. We are 1-0 as we get into second period action. Play along the far side boards. The Mariners starting to work the puck out of their own zone now. There's Earhart. That pass. He was looking for the captain, Ethan Jones. He was unavailable. His stick was tied up. And the puck is played to the middle, but he found it, sent it on goal. That was Earhart. Good play to spin it right towards the goal. He knew Jones was in the vicinity, and he nearly got it to him. But Kyle Crew giving Jones all he can handle on the end boards. Jones with the tip. Kyle Crew in there first, storming along the boards. Tried to power it up the boards, but that one got knocked down by the Mariners. He's going to try the near side, jams it, and he gets some help from Owen Evers, gets it out to center. There's a backhand from Nolan Wickham, and as we mentioned, Don Wickham, thank you for tuning in here and keeping a close eye on that talented son of yours. Puck is along the near side boards. Jackson Goods had the puck momentarily, but J.J. Pickle in there with a little swat plays it inside Mariner territory, out towards the blue line. Nice pass to Jackson Goods, takes it off the outside of his left skate, drives in down below the goal line, takes a bump. He's got some help from Hunter Burgesson, but the puck is played behind the boards. And a hard clear, that went off of the back of a skate and kept in. Cage Newen's going to apply some pressure. Jackson Goods gets there, and a good decision by the defense. And boy, Sam Lewis, he's been impressive tonight. He's made such good plays. There's a nice tip pass to Burgesson off the wing. Scores! The pride of Airdrie, Alberta, pops it in, and they want their bench to get up and celebrate that. It's a 2-0 lead, and the Mariners, they're holding up a sign. I'd love to know what that sign says. They're holding up almost thought, something Jonesy. I saw something Jonesy on there. So a reference to number 10, Ethan Jones, and a big goal for the Mariners as they grab a 2-0 lead off of the stick of Hunter Burgesson. Puck is played in towards Mariners goaltender Matt Fleet, and he'll cover that up at the left side of his goal and get the whistle. So the VIU Mariners, that whatever you did, it adjusted it. I don't know if it's the cable. I can hear myself now. Thanks, Bryce. Fryer on the near side. Reed Fryer flips it in, takes a hit from Landon Strom. And I think it might actually just be a cable from our headset. That was the reason why I'm talking with my cameraman and producer. Bryce Williamson, Mariners just barely onside. Cole McGuire getting an assist on that goal from Hunter Burgesson. And it's an important one. It staked them to a 2-0 lead. Delayed penalty coming up in the Mariners' touch. And now the call's going to come in. One of the Mariners is headed off for hooking. And I'm not sure which one it is, but from here I'd have to think. Boy, the fans are really getting raucous tonight. That's Corbett headed off for the Mariners. You can't hear me now? Face-off win for the Vikes as they begin this power play here with a Mariner in the box through the crease. And the Mariners wisely turn and deal it down ice. Owen Ways getting rid of that one. And Now the Vikes to the blue line, chipped in. Strange gets in there. Got a piece of the puck as it's played back to Kyle Crew. Shot from the point. Good block in front. And Ways getting his body down. And I think it was his left shin pad that got in front of that one. Nice backhand saucer across the lane. Crew, look at that stick handle. Drives wide into the slot. Oh, and it slides through. Sharp angle chance, and they can't get it on the back door. Oh, that was close. Tom Sweeney was reaching for it, and he just couldn't get it. I think he was held up long enough by the other number 22, Tyson Pause, who reeled him in and just lifted his stick up, made sure he couldn't make contact. Hard clear off of the boards. Good keep in by Pickle. JJ Pickle, the first star from last night's contest in this home and home, goes for a skate behind the net, 50 in the power play to Crew on the point, sends it to the near side, inside one-time pass, and that one a swing and a miss by Pickle. Crew gets it on the point. Right shooting defender wants the puck back, but doesn't shoot through the, looking for the tip on the back door. And that one nearly caught the stick of Lucas Byrne on the back door. And he has it now, goes for a skate, drops it on the near side. Pickle, loads, snaps it, doesn't know where it is, they score on the rebound. Strange, the captain, putting it upstairs as he finds that loose puck. Matt Fleet made the first one, and the rebound comes into the slot, all juicy-like, and Matt Fleet didn't know where it was, but number 11, Ryan Strange, the former Victoria Cougar, he knew exactly where it was, and he lifts it up, puts it top shelf, and we've got a one-goal game here at the Nick. Face-off win by the Vikes, and the atmosphere here in the building has changed. It's ramped up now. Fans surprised at the tenacity of the UVic Vikes power play, and that's a power play goal. It's an important one for them as they get right back into this one with a goal from their captain. And there's a stop in play, so that'll be the second goal of the season for Ryan Strange. So Lucas Byrne getting an assist on that one as the captain bats home a power play goal, and now it's back to a one-goal game. Played on the near side. Earhart tried a tip. That one sent in by Fryer, puts it behind the goal, and now battling for it, looking for maybe a possible wraparound where Mason Hartley and Crew, but just couldn't get it to go. Now it's in their own zone. Played just over 5 minutes, a little dish and a loose puck over on the far side. Cook shooting, and that one he rips it up high. And good anticipation there by Chase Cook to get in there on the slip by the Vikes. Hartley is on the near side, cuts to the middle, but there's a chop and now a potential 3-on-1. Corbett has it. Strom is in the middle. He hangs on, shoots. Big stick save. Ronan Garrity with a stick save, maybe off the knob of his goal stick, and a huge save on shot 26 by the VIU Mariners. Garrity, maybe one of his most important stops yet. Imagine the reversal in momentum if he concedes there. Corbett did the right thing and did the look off, snapped the puck high, and I think that would have been under the bar as Moody goes for a skate for the Mariners, hits center ice. Stick handling, he's a left shooting defender, but he ran into trouble right at the line. Alexander Smith got in the road. Power in his own zone, plays it off of the boards and out towards center. Corbett took a pass on it, pokes at the puck, but still with possession are the Vikes. Into the corner and putting on the brakes, waiting for just a little bit of help. Justin McKnight played with the Richmond Sockeyes of the Pacific Junior Hockey League. Four-man scrum. Mariners put it to the middle, but it's intercepted in the slot. There's the hook shot. A falling Tom Sweeney tried to put it towards the stick side of the goaltender, but that one missing the net. And that's an icing call actually by the Mariners. I don't think they reached center ice. Want to say thank you to Nanaimo Mitsubishi. They've had some barn burner shows here over the last couple of months. and beautiful vehicles they've brought in-house. Driven by value, powered by you. Windley Contracting, proudly building Vancouver Island. And Advanced Health and Sports Clinic, Advanced Care, Stronger You. There's a pass into the middle on the drop. Fryer looking for Strange again as he's got the hot stick. This line's been busy here, and there's a dive by the Mariners, close to a penalty, but Landon Strom avoids it, throws a nice hit on Owen Evers. That allows Corbett to get in and provide some pressure into the slot, shot on goal, and that was off the left pad on the sharp angle. As the Vikes are threatening here now, Reed Fryer getting in and causing some problems for the Mariners in the defensive end. Kyle Crew backs up, picks out the pass on the far side. They get it over the line. Owen Evers does, but the Mariners send it right back down ice. Puck is on edge. The arm was in the air, the backside official, but not enough for icing, they say. And it's picked up by Marco Tokic. There's an interception at the line. Jackson Goods in on goal, snaps it, and it's off the outside of the trapper. Nice save by Ronan Garrity. Cook on the point, couple of strides, shoots, scores! Chase Cook snaps it, and it's a beautiful shot to make it a 3-1 Mariners game. So the pride of Merritt, BC makes it a 3-1 lead for the Mariners, and a 2-goal lead is restored. They led 1-0 after one, and it's been a busy goal-scoring period. There's Cook again. He's got the hot hand, so why not send it to him? Chase Cook with another marker for the Mariners, and so alongside Hunter Burgesson and Blake Power, we've got a 3-1 lead. Look at that flip pass. It nearly found its target. Driving to the goal, and the Booker Daniels stick just being held long enough. The Mariners did a good job defensively to tie him up. That could have been a nice tic-tac-toe play by the Vikes. There's the reversal behind the goal. Chipped off of the far side boards, and now just off of the bench, there's Daniel in flight, headed to the goal. There's a snapshot, fought up by Fleet. Rebound jammed at his chest, and he stops that too. Here's the pass on the near side. How did Owen Wade catch that? In flight, shoots. Oh, and that's a block. Once again, the other number 23 back there to check him, Justin McKnight, in at the side of the goal as Matthew Catelier was looking to try and jam it in. Wow, so Landon Strom has been very busy here tonight. He's dished out a couple of passes here tonight that have been put into the goal on the face-off win. Back to Noah Danforth on the line, playing it down off of the skate of Austin Daniels. Going to try and skate it up the far side boards, hits the point, sends it cross ice. Danforth's going to have to hustle. He has the puck go off his stick, but he manages to recover. Daniels wasn't quite ready for the pass, and it was a little hopper as it got to the blue line. And now the other number 77 bearing down on him. Booker Daniel, as I mentioned, Daniel checking Daniels. A couple of bodies thrown out near center ice as Danforth collects inside his own zone. We're nearing the halfway point of the second period, and as you know, I love to say, by virtue, the halfway point of the game. Puck is sent in, but the Mariners trapped offside. Now Daniels touches up, and that allows Ethan Jones, Ryan Hunter, and Carson Earhart, their top line, to get out onto the ice, and they're there now. Attacking, there's a hit, a staple of Zion Lavoie, right in front of the near side glass partition that separates the two benches. Zion Lavoie, though, he's no stranger to physical hockey. I remember a few nights him playing here with the West Shore Wolves and the VIJHL and the Nanaimo Buccaneers. They had a hard time containing him in his strong forecheck, and he's got a pretty wide wingspan, so when he stick handles, he can really get around people. On the far side, Ethan Jones gets it in over the line, 2-on-3, but he has some help as Kyle Crew doing hard work on the Mariners. Ryan Hunter, he gave him a hit. Good physical battles in the corner. Jones pitches in. Puck comes to the point to Wickham. To the middle, fakes the shot. Jones tried one of his own, and that one flips up off of Kyle Crew and out into touch, as they would say, in the beautiful game of football or soccer, whichever term you prefer. I like them both, to be honest. I grew up with soccer, but as I've gotten older, I certainly appreciate the handle of football. A very elegant game, and while it's not quite as hard-nosed and, you know, hard hat and lunch pail as hockey is necessarily, it has a beauty all its own. And certainly someone that covers multiple different sports, I can tell you that I loved watching World Cup soccer. It was one of the few things that I was able to watch sports-wise growing up on any regular basis. So I certainly got in on that action when I could. Love watching the Premiership. And I know we're at a hockey game, but we've got a couple seconds here left in this media timeout. And Bryce Williamson helping keep you on track and front and center with this action. And it's a 3-1 Mariners lead, most recently upbuilt by the Mariners. Chase Cook, beautiful snapshot. You know, the thing that made that goal happen was as soon as he got the puck, he didn't panic. He realized he had about 5 or 6, maybe 7 feet before he ran into the first defender, and he just took that and went with it. And a beautiful drive. Chase Cook makes it 3-1 for the Mariners. Wickham towards the goal. He's got a couple of customers in front. And now working off of the line, Ryan Hunter back to Wickham. Wickham gives his captain a chance to take the puck towards the line. Backdoor pass, oh, and a big save. Ronan Garrity had to stay with that one. Puck is swept to the boards. It's not out. Good keep in by Earhart. Snaps it hard and below the goal line. From out of the corner, one-time shot and a good block in front. Marco Tokic getting in front of that shot. Bouncing pass goes through the slot and the puck is on edge. The Mariners will have to skate back into their own zone to get control. What a different looking game, and particularly second period. Remember, last night in Victoria, it was 4 goals in the second period for the Vikes. Scores! Brandon Moody snaps it as he cuts across the slot from right to left, and he loads the snapshot and he puts it low over the stick side of Ronan Garrity, and it's now a 4-1 Mariners lead. Brandon Moody, he had an assist earlier, now has a goal to go with it, and he's having a whale of a night. The Fort St. John product, who played with the Marion University Sabres in the NCAA Tier 3. Oh, look out, as the referee gets a little bit of a crunch action there in the corner. Mariners finishing some checks here. Up towards center, Landon Strom tried to kick it off a skate. Mariners are trapped offside here. Blake Power wasn't quite ready for that reset. So shot number 30 brings in goal number 4 for the Mariners. And they're starting to look like a strong bet to finish this game. But don't forget, there were 9 goals last night. 9 goals at the Ian Stewart Complex. So we're far from done here. And as I mentioned, we're just inside the halfway point of the game. But the Mariners with the kind of start you love when you're at home and you're coming off of a tough loss on the road. Puck is sent off of the boards. Castellato got a tip on it. That allows, see, there's Zion Lavoie out of the corner, steals it, wrap around, and he tries a power move. Tries to jam it, and Lavoie goes back at his check. Chase Cook. And now a little bit of retaliation from the Mariners as Cole McGuire says, Zion, I want you out of the kitchen. No cooking for you. But Zion Lavoie with a power move as he drives the net. And he does the wraparound attempt. Good save by Matt Fleet. And it looks like it'll be offsetting penalties, which I think is pretty fair considering the situation. So Cole McGuire, he's headed off. Zion Lavoie, I told you he says not that he's a He's not a knuckle dragger or anything like that, but he plays a power forward style of game. And when he cuts to the blue paint, he's a hard guy to contain. He's got good size. He's 6'2". Get this, 217 pounds. And you saw it on display there. He's got 3 goals, 2 assists. He's been good for a point a game so far with this team. Now I believe we're headed to some 4-on-4 hockey. I would believe that's the setup here after these offsetting. .803 remaining, second period, and we've got, looks like some 4-on-4 hockey to go. And this is always exciting, and I have to say, I think this slightly favors the Mariners. As the Mariners, they're good with the open ice. They're going to find ways to get those passes in between the blue lines. And that is definitely something that I think that the Mariners excel at, is being able to work the puck between the blue. And a little shout out to Asif Mops 4383 says, tuning in from Texas, go Ronan, PJHL. And yes, Ronan Garrity, he was fantastic last night, and he's had to be on dial tonight. So many difficult chances. 30 shots by the Mariners, 10 for the UVic Vikes, and that number to me says 3-1 is the difference here. 3 shots for every Vikes 1, and that's the way the Mariners want to keep this going. Into the face-off is Ryan Strange, tries to play it forward to himself, but he gets cut off by Tyson Pause on the way to the net. Tyson Pause, the former Oceanside General, a Nanaimo product. Wickham on the near side enters the Vikes zone. Corbett, sharp angle chance. That's fought off the shoulder. Ronan Garrity looking down. Wickham shooting. Oh, that was a ripper of a shot from about 14, 15 feet out, and he let it fly. Good coverage, though, by Garrity. Strom in the open. Shoots off for the glove. Rebound. Tucks it in. What a night for number 8. He's got a goal to go with a couple of helpers. Landon Strom gives the fans reason to get out of their seat yet again. And he has set up some beauties tonight, especially the opening goal by Blake Power. But this goal, the patience, he forces the trapper save out of Ronan Garrity. Garrity's down, the puck flipped up in the air. He has no idea where it is. Landon Strom turns his body and backhands the puck in behind his goal stick. And that leads to a 5-1 Mariner lead here on home ice. Look out, Matt Fleet, and he pulls it out of sure danger as he knocks it away with the backside of his paddle. In over the line, Moody, backhander, oh, and he's looking far side. Mariners are starting to have fun. And you remember, I told you this open ice favors the Mariners. Shot, Cage Newlands, and that one stopped by Garrity. Quick counterattack here. J.J. Pickle waiting for Byrne in the slot. Drags it, shoots, and that was blocked. Brandon Moody getting his body in there. But a good job by Byrne. Stays with the puck. Pardon me, that was Pickle. Now he relays to Byrne. McKnight from the point, cross ice to Pickle. Knocks it down. Oh, and he nearly put it between the skates. But now Cage Newlands, 2-on-2 back the other way. Offside as Hunter Burgess just a stride offside. And with 35 seconds remaining in the coincidental minors, we've got an offside call. The shots for the Mariners, 34 now, 11 for the UVic Vikes. And to all of the University of Victoria Vikes crew hanging out, you know who you are. Thank you so much for being here tonight. you knew this was going to be a pretty good matchup. Yes, the Mariners have the better end of it right now, but as the Vikes proved last night, they can have huge periods. They had a 4-goal second period. Theoretically, why couldn't it be a 4-goal third period? There goes Pause in behind Matt Fleet. Pass out to center is a good one to Goods. So Nolan Wickham with another assist. There's a cross-ice pass. Looking for Evers, and they couldn't hook up. Mariners have control off of the near side boards. Mariners look a little tired right now. They've been trapped out here a little bit. Backhand pass by Crew. Where is it? Oh, it's behind the net as it bounced off of Lavoie, who's now back on the ice. There's Stinson now with control as he brings it inside his own zone. Cross-ice pass. That was knocked down. Lavoie tried to get on top of it, but Goods takes it first. Shoots! That's a right arm save. Jumping up a little bit off his skates to meet that one was goaltender Ryan Garrity. Puck is flipped out to center. Lavoie finds the pass on the right side. Evers activates towards the net, shoots! And he gets knocked down en route to the net. Maybe trying to garner a call here. Mariners have to be careful, but they get it to the top of the face-off circle. There goes Earhart, ragging it to center. Cuts in, has some help, tries to drive to the right. Puck lays in the face-off dot, but it's picked up by the Mariners. High slot, moving in, shot. Oh, and that one got deflected and way up into the air. Nolan Wickham trying for that one. Long lead pass, it's on point. Shot fought off by Fleet, and he covers up about 6 inches outside of the blue paint, maybe a foot. So just a reminder that the next home game is January 17th. The Mariners taking on the SFU Red Leafs. That's a 7:15 start at the Nanaimo Ice Center. So Tom Harris Community Foundation, thank you for helping provide this broadcast here tonight. There's a shot on goal, and that one swallowed up. JJ Pickle breaking into the slot off of that one face-off. And again, Matt Fleet quickly out to the top of the blue paint, and he covers the angle. He was about as true north at the top of that crease as you can be, and it was a good stop on JJ Pickle, who gets shot 14 done for the Vikes. Face-off to the left of goaltender Fleet, hammered off of the near side boards. JJ Pickle backhands it towards the middle. That went off of his teammate's skate, and that breaks up the play. And back down into Vikes territory come the Mariners, but a good couple of swats by the Vikes. And JJ Pickle most recently gets it out at least to center ice, but Pickle watching as at the blue line, a partial hit, and now they're back away. Potential 4-on-3 if they hurry, but Lewis has to take it off his skate to the near side. Daniel through the crease, and he would put it right into the middle. He was hoping to hook up. Unable to get the pass through. Puck is behind the goal. Good effort by Austin Daniels, and now he's away to the blue line. He's got 2 down ice. One is Catelier, but he tried to feed him the puck. It got jammed off of Daniel's skate, and Daniel is in the high slot, headed to the net. One-arm chance, put it on goal, and that rode up the goal stick and up the left arm and into the trapper of an aware Matt Fleet. So a little under 4 minutes to go here, period 2. And the VIU Mariners, good for a 5-1 lead here. A bit of a surprising turnaround of events on the heels of that 6-3 loss last night at the Ian Stewart Complex. 4 goals in the second period, 2 of them power play markers by the Vikes. And an incredible night for JJ Pickle and company as they treated the fans. Now Crew has to put on the swivel brakes here, tries to play it up the near side boards. That bounces off the boards in front of Blake Power. Tried to play it back in, but Owen Evers forces it out over the blue line. Mariners send it right back in, though. Landon Strom, who's having a whale of a night, in on the forecheck. Gets outside the line with Corbett, and Corbett That pass misses Strom, and that's going to go for icing. You might have heard a little bit of a groan up here that, oh. And I know that sound because I've been there, and I've been that person putting the puck just a little too far in front of the intended target, and it rolls for icing, and now you're looking at a defensive zone faceoff. So the Mariners striking once tonight on their prime performance power play. That, of course, earlier in the first period got a delayed call as Strom got decked into the boards. Mariners, now they can get their goaltender Fleet out. Wickham puts on the brakes. No control yet, but they're offside as Wickham tried to charge in over the line. His teammate Power got knocked in offside, and that's going to bring about the penalty call. So the Vikes, they're going to be shorthanded. Owen Evers headed to the penalty box. And it's a 2-minute boarding call, so at least the positive spin on it is that it's not a 5-minute, or I've seen in some cases where they do a 4-minute double minor for boarding, but quite often it's just one or the other, a 2 or a 5, wrapped off of the glass, out to the point. Wickham had that one bounce off his arm. Good diving play by Nolan Wickham, breaks up that attempt by Zitko to try and get in loose. Cross ice pass by Newens, moving in. Jones shoots, and that's off of the elbow, the right elbow of goaltender Ronan Garrity. And unfortunately for him, the pressure is on for him to try and be as letter perfect now and airtight as possible. Not that Garrity has had a subpar game by any stand. No, don't confuse that. 36 shots, that's the body of work, and we're not done the second period yet. Into the slot, play back to the point, but that was just a little too far for Nolan Wickham. Now Ethan Jones skates it out to center. Tried to play it forward for Blake Power. They rule no icing as it was scooped out to the point. Knocked down by Wickham. Gets a puck towards the goal. It bounced way up in the air. There's a collision outside of the blue line, and Wickham colliding there, and I think there's going to be a slashing call against Nolan Wickham he hit Tom Sweeney outside of the blue line, and so that's going to negate this power play. So once again, should be in a 4-on-4 setting here for the next minute and 20. And then when Owen Evers steps out of the penalty box, it'll be a 5-on-4 for 40 seconds for the UVic Vikes, who have an offensive zone face-off now. JJ Pickle wins it back, left shooting forward, gets it to Crew, who's a right shooting defender. Pass through the crease, and they were looking for Pickle in the slot. Pickle unable to connect with that one. In behind the goal, reaching for the puck. Corbett into a battle with Pickle as Pickle tried to play it one-handed towards the goal, but that's easily broken up by the Mariners. And it's flipped in by Cole McGuire. Crew cuts him off a little bit. Oh, and there's a back check that kept McGuire from getting in on top of the puck. But I think maybe that Eric Stinson took the worst of it for the Vikes. He seems to be shaking his legs off a bit through the slot. Now Mariners on the counterattack. Marco Tokic gets out, and Crew is laboring to get back. Mariners offside as Chase Cook tried to ride the line. And just a little bit offside, but it was noticeable. I think Corbett maybe was half a stride offside there. But I think in that situation, when you're in a 4-on-4 setting, it's almost better to actually take that offside call, because if you do get inside the line, but you get knocked down or cut off right away and you're unable to get back into the play, that can seem like a long way to go. You know, around 150 feet or so to get back into position. Skating is Earhart. Left at the line, kept in well by Tyson Pause. The return pass, had to reach back for it, but he's a right shooting defender. Got knocked down though from the backside, and back come the Vikes to center. Driving towards the middle. Daniel had it roll off the end of his stick, and Carson Earhart helped push it to center. That big paddle of Matt Fleet smacking the ice, letting his mates know Owen Evers is out. 40 seconds of power play and about the same in the period. Puck is sent deep into Vike territory where Tokic takes it off his arm, sends it cross ice, and Evers is away now. Puts on the brakes at the top of the faceoff circle in the slot. Daniel backhand, and that is a stop by Matt Fleet as he got the paddle down, and that's brought a crowd in behind the net. Couple of bodies getting pushed around. One of them was JJ Pickle. He got pushed up against the boards, and I think that was Carson Earhart that stepped in right away as it looked like tensions are certainly on the rise here, building up a little bit. And sometimes, actually, it's an interesting moment just now. Cole McGuire went and had a word with Eric Stinson. I think that they were talking about when they ran in the check when Stinson came in and threw his backside out there to get the majority of Cole McGuire's body, and did so, but much to his own detriment. Pickle off of the wing, tried to snap it up over the goal, just missing by a couple of inches. Gets back up, gets the pass. Puck is laying there. Landon Strom finds it. 10 seconds to go in the period, and the Vikes have to leave that puck. Pickle was exiting the zone. Look at that stretch pass, and it bounces wide of the goal. Onside is Blake Power, but that's going to run the period out. In the corner it goes. And that is a wrap on period number 2. It was a busy one for the Mariners. So the VIU Mariners return the favor. Last night at the Ian Stewart Complex, it was all about the power play in the second period for the UVic Vikes, and they powered themselves to a 6-3 victory on their home ice last night. So I'm just looking at the stats. Just checking the out-of-town scoreboard. So I've got a final to report here. And that final is the Okanagan Lakers. They finish up with a 5-3 victory at So just letting everyone know, it's a final 5-3, the Okanagan Lakers. With the home win over the Logan Lake Miners. So in that game, I just want to double check here. 1, 2, 3, holy smokes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6 of the 8 goals in that game were power play goals. So the man advantage was obviously a huge factor in that game. So the Okanagan Lakers, they grab a home win. The Logan Lake Miners, of course, they were in the finals last year against these same University of Victoria Vikes, and they acquitted themselves very well. So a big win for the Okanagan Lakers to fend off the finalists from last year's 2024-2025 Cup. And here tonight inside this building, a total role reversal, if you will. Last night, a 4-goal outburst by the UVic Vikes in period number 2. But tonight, it's the VIU Mariners with a 4-goal outburst in the second period. And the Vikes, they were able to grab a goal themselves. Ryan Strange was able to make it a 3-1 game, but the Mariners have since pulled away with a couple of more markers in that period. Landon Strom, a goal, 2 assists so far tonight. He's been spectacular. And he even drew a penalty later in the second period there. So number 8's been fantastic. So 5 different goal scorers for the Mariners, and in no particular order: Hunter Burgesson, Blake Power, Landon Strom, Brandon Moody, and Chase Cook. So 5 different goal scorers, and the Mariners are looking good here right now after a very strong second period performance here at the Nanaimo Ice Center. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention some of the defensive hockey that we've been seeing here tonight. You know, it's not one of those games that really feels like a 5-1 game. It kind of feels more like a 3-1 type game, but the Mariners, they've had some very strong defense, and after conceding that Ryan Strange goal, it just felt like the Mariners have really locked in. And Cole McGuire, he's been one person that's put his body down in front of multiple shots tonight. And Chase Cook as well, he's having a monster game. When your defenseman can chip in with a goal here and there, that's awesome. And when they can do it, helping keep the puck out of their own net, it's usually a W. And the Mariners, after 40 minutes of play, 36 shots on goal. So Ryan Garrity, he has been doing his portion for the UVic Vikes. He's been very busy tonight, and he's made some excellent, excellent saves. But the Mariners offense, very strong. And as I talked about, when there were those offsetting penalties and we had that 4-on-4 ice, that's when the Mariners really take advantage of that extra control, and they've been just very well timed and very disciplined on their entry in over the blue line. They've done it very well, and they've rarely been offside tonight when they have more than 3 players moving in over the blue line. 17 shots for the University of Victoria Vikes, and when he's been called on, Matt Fleet, he's been great. And of course, even the goal that got by him, he made the first stop. The rebound, though, was in no man's land, and Ryan Strange popping it in, and that's where we stand. The Mariners 5, the University of Victoria Vikes 1, but we still got third period action to go. And remember, there's been 2 4-goal periods in the last 4 periods. So better hang on to your hats and maybe go grab something from the fridge. We're going to be back in about 10 minutes with more BCIHL hockey here on the BCIHL YouTube channel and Rogers 105. We'll be back shortly. Strom says, cheering the Mariners on from Choice Land, Saskatchewan, go Strom, go. Well, he's listened to that. Also, go 88 from Saskatchewan. That's from, looks like LJP 5735. So obviously cheering on Cage Newens, who, I'm not going to lie, there's a little bit of concern in the earlier goings of the first period when he took that hit just about maybe 8-9 feet inside the Mariners' blue line where they are now over on the far side. And he was clutching his arm and midsection, but these guys are tough. Tough as a couple of day-old steak. And Hunter into the face-off, or waiting for the face-off. Ethan Jones, Hunter on his left. And we're just about ready to get underway. Carson Earhart watches as the puck sent down on his side deep into Nanaimo, or the VIU Mariners territory. It's kicked up along the near side boards, and that gets Jones out to center ice on the backhand flip over center. Earhart had trouble controlling that, and they managed to play it to Daniel in the high slot. On the follow-up by Crew going in, trying to drive in, a good save. He tried to go between the wickets, and a big stop. Matt Fleet staying right with the big defender, Kyle Crew, who's so smooth. Sometimes you see his stick doesn't move that much, but the amount it does move is just everything. And there's that soft little touch pass. Mariners in the middle of a change. Cole McGuire careful as he touches it that there not too many men burn for the Vikes. Back pedals to Marco Tokic, and there's a hit from Cole McGuire. I think Pickle might have been trying to garner a call there. Puck is played off the glass, kept in by the Mariners at the point, shot by Burgesson on the turnaround. And he's already got one tonight. Why not just keep firing? And indeed, a good stop there by Ronan Garrity. Just kept his eye on the puck. Not much of a screen in front, so Burgesson just trying to use the only advantage he had, which was a little extra time. Shot from the point. McGuire has to brace as Sweeney stepped in and hit him. Puck is chopped in by Owen Evers. Sweeney is down deep. And he's also in there with Sam Lewis, who committed a little bit deep, and the Mariners will chip it in as they move it back down ice. Burgesson could hear the call from Chase Cook on the backside. Cook plays it down below the goal line, put through the middle, and that was an alert stick by goaltender Garrity to just deflect it away from harm's possibility there as Cage Newens has it, sharp angle chance, and that went whistling through the crease. But he had the right idea. A couple of Mariners were getting close, including Burgesson. Off of the near side on the drive in, Stinson. And Sweeney, he's going to peel off now after that tough battle. A couple of them on that shift. Hartley steps out in his stead. Bouncing play in on goaltender Garrity, and he's got to be safe. And he's with his skates in the butterfly nearly near the red line. He'll stop that bobbling bouncer. And now a face-off over to Garrity's right. Corbett tries to tie up his man in the draw long enough to get the win, but Zion Lavoie, as I mentioned, he's a big customer, and he held him up quite well. Long clear in from Blake Power, but the first to it are the Vikes. Stretch pass to center, meets Castellato, and he's the one touch for Lavoie, who wanted to go inside-outside, but he's going to get some backup here from Hartley, who's behind the net. Puck was knocked away off of his stick. And now Lavoie in there forcing his rather considerable will. Ties up Danforth for a moment, but the Mariners ultimately send it up the far side, but that was a little out of reach. Blake Power getting in, into the slot, chipped, swollen, a big save into the glove. Landon Strom looking for number 2, and a big stop. Ronan Garrity, as I mentioned, he has to be all sorts of tight now. He cannot afford to give the Mariners another goal, and by he, I mean they. His team can't, but ultimately he's the last line of defense, and he stops Landon Strom there, who's got a goal. And I misspoke earlier. I thought he had 2 assists. One of the assists was changed to Blake Power, or pardon me, to Cage Newens. So Cage Newens drawing in on the score sheet. And Landon Strom still with a goal and an assist and an impressive effort here tonight. He's been one of the best Mariners for my money. There's a hit near the line, but it's kept in by Crew, or was it? As he tried to drive the middle, and now Corbett took a little whack there from Zitko, who took exception to the bump that was delivered to his alternate captain, Kyle Crew. So to the 77 viewers that we have online right now, thank you so much for being with us. We really appreciate you being with us here tonight on a Saturday night. The Nanaimo Clippers of the BCIHL, their game was canceled because of a bus issue. Into the slot it goes, and the Vikes were looking dangerous there for a moment on that rush. But away on a 2-on-2 comes Strom and Power. He tried to go around the outside, and a good defensive play by Marco Tokic, and he breaks that up, sends it to Scott up the wing, chips it in. Change for the Vikes at the bench is getting up slowly. Look, oh, one of the Vikes got hammered there in front of his bench. That was Kyle Crew, and he doesn't like the way he went off, and his mates respond. McKnight stapling Catelier right at the line. Things heating up. As I said, there's so much emotion between these two clubs, and playing back-to-back nights together doesn't help the issue any. We're 4 minutes deep here into period number 3, 5-1 lead. It was 1-0 after 1. And then the Mariners putting the hammer down in the second period. They did what the Vikes did last night and scored 4 goals in the second period, although the Vikes had a couple of power play goals in that one at the Ian Stewart complex. There's a pass through the middle, and it's picked up. JJ Pickle kicks it to his stick, put it off of the outside of the post. Puck laying there, and it's cleared from in front of the net. And a good job by the Mariners to just get that out of danger. Cole McGuire firing it down ice, and he has been one of, if not the best defenseman tonight for the Mariners. Around the outside, putting it through the middle, no one home, as the Vikes. Eric Stinson was sending a hopeful pass through the middle. Puck goes down ice. That's stopped by the goaltender, and he's going to do a crazy backhand spinorama, puts it along the boards, but it buys him time to get in the crease, and his mates back from that last charge. Jones is in the slot, hoping for the puck, trying to dodge a couple of hits. Ryan Hunter put through to the middle. Earhart, oh, off of the goaltender's blocker and off the crossbar. Big moment as a save off the blocker leads to a direct crossbar hit near side for Hunter. Magical pass got to him. Plays it down below the goal line, but he tried to spread wide at his base, and he gets stapled along the boards. Puck is put through the crease. Comes out the other side as Eric Stinson laid the body in behind the net. Now he has the puck. Stinson put on the brakes to avoid a hit, but that pass for Owen Evers was a little bit hopeful, and that one goes the length of the ice for an icing call against the University of Victoria Vikes. So the UVic Vikes have to keep that same line out there. So JJ Pickle into the circle, and he's got to be getting tired about now. He's been so busy tonight. And yes, he's headed right to the bench after that face-off win. Out comes Kyle Crew, Marco Tokic, and Ryan Strange. Strange has the only goal here, the only offense for the Vikes. On the counterattack come the Mariners. Potential 2-on-1 in the middle. Burgesson holds, shoots, scores! Hunter Burgesson gets his second. And it's a lovely pass that sends him into the clear. Hunter Burgesson on the tic-tac-toe. And a lovely goal. Jackson Good sending him into the clear, and the pass had to be on point. It had to be surgical in its precision. And reaching out, reeling it in with one arm, Hunter Burgesson gets it into a snapping position. He puts it low, And the Mariners good for a 6-1 lead here at the Nanaimo Ice Center. There's another answer here as Jackson Goods right back out on the ice, cuts to the middle, lets one go wide. And the Mariners are pouring it on here. Cage Newens has a look over both shoulders, heads in hard with Kyle Crew. Couple of big bodies, but Crew has the size advantage there. As he reaches in, tries to play it away from Burgesson, who has Cage Newens help him out along the near side boards. Crew, D to D over on the far side. Toe kick, had to get out of the road. There's a change on defense, but Lewis is back into position. 2-on-1 shot, and a beautiful diving play by Lewis. As he breaks up that play, Sam Lewis sliding in between the two players. And the former Kamloops Storm of the KIJHL, he's already got a goal and 3 assists through 10 games this season. And he's showing his defensive prowess there. The second line pairing defenseman sprawling and blocking that for sure 2-on-1 for the Mariners. Puck is on edge, rolling down ice. We're 7 minutes into period 3. Shots are 42-18 for the Mariners. Full control of this one, a 6-1 lead. Maybe not as quite as full as the lead that the Boston Bruins had over the New York Rangers earlier today. At the Rangers, last time I checked, it was 9-2. It was quite a drubbing. And the puck is sent down off of the boards. But the Mariners doing their best to show the home fans here that they appreciate their support. You're not going to believe this, but the building is near capacity. And Don Miller let me know that the official attendance is 420 here tonight. That is definitely a record for this season for the VIU Mariners, and it might be close to an all-time record. Huge support here tonight, and we're very thankful to the sponsors that have helped bring this game to life. Tom Harris Community Foundation, Archie Johnstone Plumbing and Heating, Original Joe's, the Saints team, Nanaimo Mitsubishi, Windley Contracting, Advanced Health and Sports Clinic, and of course the Prime Performance and Therapy Power Play, which has the Mariners gave them their 3rd goal of the game. Mariners inside their own zone behind goaltender Matt Fleet, who's directing traffic as he lets his defenders know where he'd like them to be. I think there was a touch from the Mariners bench on that puck as it went by. So the Mariners, I think it will be inside their own zone. That looks to be the case. There's a face-off win. Daniel tried to pull it right to the middle off of that face-off draw. Now Earhart, dribbler, goes through off of the stick of Lewis, who's been a bright spot here tonight for the VIU, or for the UVic. Vikes through the crease. Oh, and a beautiful save by Ronan Garrity. Does the splits, and I think he got it with his left pad. Another pass goes through the crease, but this time Owen, it goes through the crease. He doesn't know where it is. The whistle went. I don't think they're going to allow this. And that's brought some jarring and jousting right at the left side of the goal. And I can't tell which Mariner is hooked up. I think it's Carson Earhart, and he's locked up with someone. Yes, indeed. He's into it with Sam Lewis. Big 6'2", 195 pounds Sam Lewis. And as far as I can tell right now, Sam Lewis, oh yeah, it looks like they're both going to go. But Earhart was digging for that puck. The whistle had gone, so I figured it was probably going to be a nullified goal. But the Mariners, they're not really needing the offense so much right now. Yes, another goal or two would be some gravy here tonight. But you know what? It feels good to have a 5-goal lead in the third period. Not going to lie, I'm sure these Mariners would tell you, especially on the heels of that 6-3 loss last night. It feels like it's a very much a kind of a tick-for-tack kind of situation. And both teams performing very well on home ice. And in both games, the second period was the tail of the tape. Face-off win by the Mariners, 11:20 to go in the period. Shot, and that had to be carefully handled. Garrity sticked it aside, but it was a timing thing. It was an off-speed shot. Jones on the spinorama, and he tried to put it to Ryan Hunter, who was ready for that bullet pass. Up around the face-off circle, now to the umbrella. Relays to Jones. 4-on-4 hockey, and as I told you in the second period, and I'll put it on repeat, the Mariners are a very strong 4-on-4 skating club, and I think that this situation slightly favors their style of hockey as they go D to D. Cole McGuire to the far side. Jones keeps it on side, but it's a ping pong battle there at the line, and the puck ultimately winds up out of the rink. Oh, and look at that. Rick Lewis, dash W4P, and it says, good move, Sam, Grandma and Grandpa from Kamloops. And as I mentioned, I'm sure that's in regards to Sam Lewis. The math is right. You know, he is former Kamloops Storm of the KI. Puck is flipped in. Matt Fleet had to be careful as that one bounced over just past his trapper side. And skating away quickly, Wickham, 3 over the line. 1 in the middle is Landon Strom. He's got one already. Hard bump along the boards. Puck comes free, but that's going to be picked up by the Vikes, and they have time to skate it to center. Chipped in the 4-on-4 situation. Into the corner it goes. Zion Lavoie covering the down ice portion here of the forecheck as that long pass reaches Landon Strom. Dipsy doodles, and he hits his own blue line, gets the stride going, and now he's over the line in flight. Sends it around the boards on a type of cycle maneuver. Cook is waiting for it at the point. Played it along the half boards, but the Vikes do a good job as Kyle Crew sussed that one out. He's going to take a bit of a hip here, but he steps around Cook, who impeded his motion just enough, and it was lucky that he did, because now Crew is laboring to get back. That pass for Ways just a little too far, but now he one-arms it behind the net. Looking carefully and closely, Garrity from inside his crease. He's already into the butterfly, but he can get up now as his mates have cleared it out to center. Solid bump there on Sam Lewis. Oh, and he throws a good hit in behind the net. Doesn't let Austin Daniels off the hook, and he throws a hip into him. And he helps free up the puck to J.J. Pickle. Pickle into the middle, and it's off of the skate of of Austin Daniels, who made up nicely on that play and covered for the defense right in the high slot. Down ice pass. That's a light touch by Daniel of the Vikes. In on the forecheck, it's 3-on-3 as the Mariners play it up the boards, but it's backhanded into the corner. Nice little flip play by J.J. Pickle. He's been impressive here tonight, but unable to find the handle and squeeze one in for a goal. He had plenty of those last night. Around the outside go the Mariners. Austin Daniels looking, and that one takes a bounce. High slot, loading, shoots, and that's a good stick. J.J. Pickle, he doesn't just score, he breaks up plays. That was a great defensive play by number 20. Up off of the near side boards, out towards center. Pickle in flight. And Daniel, he tried to poke that one over the line, but he was intercepted. Now Cage Newens takes it off the backdrop. In over the line, cutting down below the goal line. Has to watch out for the head referee, Ryan Sirk, who was there watching carefully. A couple of players collide, and Daniel, who's at the end of a shift, just pokes it down to the VIU blue line. Out is Scott for the Vikes. Funny swat at it there by goaltender Ronan Garrity as he kind of held his goal stick like a baseball bat, kind of. There's a hard stop up at the top of the blue paint as Kyle Crew forces Jackson Goods to the outside, but that allows his teammates to step in, and there goes Zitko, dumps it in for Jay Scott, who's putting some heat on the goaltender. Matt Fleet with a hard backhand, got rid of it, but it comes through the crease, and Fleet does what a smart goaltender does when there's a broken play, and he reels that one in for a face-off as shot number 18 rolls in from the from the UVic Vikes. And now we've reached our media timeout portion. So again, it's been a very powerful night here at the Nanaimo Ice Center. Official attendance 420, and Don Miller told me that is basically at capacity, and you can hear the fans cheering down at the at what will be the west end of the ice, or over to the left of your camera view. And there's a large section of cheering fans that always finds their way into that portion of the stands, and they do a very good job of helping the Mariners celebrate in the first and third period when they score goals. And conversely, they let the opposition know how they're doing in that regard. And that's just hockey. Zitko, he'll be on the wing. Same with Scott. Lewis on the point for the Vikes as the draw is won by VIU. And now quickly onto it, Strom. He has power in the middle. Good defensive play by the Vikes. And again, Sam Lewis coming to the rescue. He got that outside of the blue line. That could have been trouble. Left at the side of the net for McKnight. McKnight going to go for a little skate here. Justin McKnight. He's got a goal and 3 assists in this campaign so far. Pretty solid defenseman for the University of Victoria Vikes. And that backhand in behind the net. It'll be met on the other side. Alexander Smith played it down for Owen Evers, who's still chasing the puck. Rides McGuire out. Pinch play at the point. Momentarily was kept in, but the Mariners now at center. Oh, just about carrying it away. Sweeney, that's a nice stick at the line by Chase Cook. Oh, and a hard hit. In comes Lewis as he staples Landon Strom. And that puck maybe from the VIU side of center. And listen to those fans. Oh, ho, ho. Fans really rocking here at the Nanaimo Ice Center tonight. And you know what? $5 adult bevies. Great food. So a shout out to my buddy Chris Drewicki, who asked if I wanted to ride to the rink tonight, and I said sure, and I didn't know the deal included. There's a sharp angle shot into the glove of Matt Fleet. It kind of handcuffed him, but he hangs on to it. And Chris went in the second intermission, went and got some of the mini donuts. I didn't realize that they do those here on Mariners game nights, but I'm glad I have that information now. They are awesome mini donuts, let me tell you. Almost like fresh out of the oven. There's a face-off win. 6:12 to go in this one. Mariners all but looking solid. There's a hard slapper, and that's blocked by the captain. And now Ethan Jones breaking into the open with Hunter. Little saucer, and that last little reach out with a skate by Eric Stinson breaks up that play off of the sharp angle. Jones trying to pull it to the middle. Now they're going to have to be careful as at the line. Oh, look at that hit. Ethan Jones throwing the body. Stinson, though, recovers, and he's down ice with Sweeney. Mariners defense by committee. Look at that crowd that met the puck carrier at the top of the face-off circle. There's a back pass. Hunter tried to go back one more time. Now he gets it to the point. One-time shot, and that goes wide as Austin Daniels let that one go from the far point. On the near side, Jones hops up once again, gets his body in front, and the puck is played into the corner. Crew trying to force his will on Ethan Jones, who's just battling in that 5-man scrum. There are 3 dark jerseys. I don't know what happened there. I think Earhart either got crossed up or something, but there is going to be a call now, and I think Ethan Jones, by keeping his skates moving, was able to lure Kyle Crew into a penalty. And so the Mariners, they haven't had many of them tonight, but they've got a power play. Actually, no, they've had a couple. They've had a few, but they have just the one power play goal to show for it. But now, with 5:09 remaining, Kyle Crew hoping that he serves the full 2 minutes of this penalty, because that will mean that his club will have successfully killed without a goal against. Face off to the left of Ronan Garrity. Earhart on the back pass to the point. Nolan Wickham, who's been everything you want in a defenseman tonight, including on the score sheet, but that pass down from below the goal line from Earhart, that was broken up and sent rink wide. Picked up by Nolan Wickham. Smith directing traffic with Zitko as they apply a forecheck here on this PK. Ethan Jones So Crew for roughing, there's a sharp angle shot. Case Newens, look out, he got dished into the boards. And Marco Tokic knew there was something coming. And now there's a big outbreak in the corner. They didn't like that follow-up. And Marco Tokic saying, hey, Newens, do you want to go? And he's ready to throw the gloves. But he got in a hard hit before that broke out. And Cage Newens was the one that felt it. And Nolan Wickham, he's not very happy with Marco Tokic, who's being told by the referee to get to the box. That's Leif Jensen saying, hey, time to go. And now the fans on their feet. Looks like Sam Lewis, who got in and was helping defend his teammate. I think he's getting a coincidental with Carson Earhart, so I don't know if there'll be an additional penalty here. But with 1:29 left in the Mariners' power play, I guess we're going to find out. Cage Newens over to the penalty box now, but I think that's a coincidental with Marco Tokic. And a loose twig brought over to the University of Victoria Vikes bench. And they'll actually go and take that over to Marco, who's in the box now. Smith will skate it over to him. So just another reminder, your next home game, it's the Mariners taking on the SFU Red Leafs, 7:15 at the Nanaimo Ice Center. And that's, you can be here live at the Nanaimo Ice Center, or you can catch the action as you're doing on BCIHL YouTube channel. And of course, Rogers 105. And that handsome devil over to my right, controlling the camera, Bryce Williamson. He's going to make sure that everything's looking neat and tidy. And he's got a...
Try the pretzels.
Bryce is saying I've got to try the pretzels. And so now I got two things on my list I have to get done. The only problem is oh, yes, and the slushy. Actually, I remember, so there's this really cool looking blue slushy that they have here. And another one that kind of looks like a lemonade type Slurpee. Well, during one intermission, I remember Bryce coming back to the broadcast booth, and he's got his arms full. He's got the double stacked slushies there, and yes, indeed, he actually did have a pretzel, one of the fresh baked pretzels. So lots of goodies here at the Nanaimo Ice Center. The food's pretty good, and the beverages aren't so bad either, say some of the fans at the west end of the rink. Certainly had a couple to get their university night kicked off in style. It's Saturday night after all, everyone. There's Castellato. He's headed over to the penalty box, so I think there's going to be an additional, he's probably serving. Yeah, it looks like Marco Tokic, that's the end of his night. So he heads down the tunnel, and it looks like Cage Newens, I think he's getting ready to step out of the box, so that's might be a similar fate for him. But I think the math, oh, wow. Okay, so it looks like there's an additional penalty put up. So it looks like Marco Tokic, given a 2-minute minor, is the one that stands out on the board. That's the separation. So it looks like for the next minute 29, the Mariners will have a 5-on-3 power play. And the face-off, of course, will be inside the Mariner zone. Face-off to the left of Ronan Garrity. He's performed very well tonight. 47 shots, folks. And you can bet the Mariners should have 50 before this one's done for sure with this 5-on-3. Cross ice from McGuire as they get to work on the PP. Off of the far side boards, McGuire on the point. Over to the right side, shot, and that whistle's wide. I don't know if they're going to be able to keep it in. Good job by McGuire to hustle and get there, anticipate to the far side. Shot, snapped in on goal, and that's stopped as another shot rolls in off of the stick of Hunter Burgesson. He's one of the goal scorers here tonight, and the VIU Mariners with 6 different goal scorers in this one. What a night for spreading it around, and it's a great team effort. Chris Jones is going to like that business. McGuire off of the circle. Oh, and he rippled that one off the outside of the mesh. That did not miss by a lot. He was trying to go in the same spot that he picked out earlier. Now McGuire off of the far right side. He's a left shooting defender into the high slot, and that one time for Austin Daniels that eluded him. And so now 45 seconds remaining in the initial penalty to Kyle Crew and the 5-on-3. So 2 minutes for roughing and a game misconduct for Marco Tokic. Jackson Goods plays it to Austin Daniels, who returns the favor. Now they'll switch spots up to the umbrella to McGuire. Daniels position at the side of the goal, cross crease pass, and Ronan Garrity was wise to that. He got down. I think it was blocked on the far side by Owen Evers, but he did get across, so he might have been there to make that save, even if it did make it across. What a great cross-ice pass that was, and Chris Jones really has these guys moving that puck with aplomb. Wickham, over the line he goes. Corbett in the middle, fakes the pass to him, skates hard behind the net. Hard circle. Paddle is going for the goaltender. That first penalty's over. 24 in the other one. Shot! And that's into the glove. Good save by Ronan Garrity as he moved from his right to his left. Got the leather on it. And he'll stop that one with 2:57 remaining here in this third period of play. The VIU Mariners firmly in control. They return the UVic Vikes favor of 4 goals in the second period last night at the Ian Stewart Complex with 4 of their own. There's a face-off win by the Mariners. 5-on-4 now for another 15 seconds. On the near side for Jones. Holds, cross-ice pass! Ripples off the outside of the net. That one-time shot by Nolan Wickham rippling off the outside of the mesh. Now to the near side point. Tyson Pause went to the umbrella, but he dishes to Jones, who now cuts there too, looking for backdoor. Ryan Hunter was there. The pride of Squamish, BC, keeps the puck alive, but his backhand pass to the middle, that's cut out by Kyle Crew, who's out of the box. Cross-ice pass. It's onside, though. And the UVic Vikes into the slot, and a good back check. And that was Chase Cook, I believe, that got back into the action. No, pardon me, that was Landon Strom. Great defensive play by Landon Strom. Hook play side of the goal, and they score! Ethan Jones, he's not going to be left off the score sheet. And the prime performance and therapy power play strikes a second time. And Ethan Jones makes it 7 different goal scorers for the VIU Mariners. Spread it around, boys. All sorts of passing and setup all night long, and it's been such a role reversal from last night. Totally different game from the one that ended 6-3 for the Vikes last night. This home-and-home series, it shows you how much parity there is in the league on any given night. One of these two teams can be dominant and get the upper hand and really take control. Now, this is interesting because it just dawned on me how over the past 2.5 seasons, so many games between these teams have been 1-goal games. I think they may have set a record for most 1-goal games over that span. I am almost certain of it. So many 4-3s, 3-2s. There's a steal in the zone by Way, shoots, blockered away, and covered up by goaltender Ronan Garrity. Ryan Hunter getting an assist from that goal from Jones, and it was all about that pass to find Ethan Jones right at the back door on the trapper side of goaltender Ronan Garrity, and it was a beautiful pass through. Ryan Hunter, the former North Van Wolfpack, has made a solid impact here tonight. That top line's been buzzing, but they've only accounted for 1 of the goals. There has been scoring spread out through this lineup. Landon Strom, Hunter Burgess, Blake Power, and as I mentioned, Ethan Jones, but Chase Cook and Brandon Moody all accounting for the VIU Mariners with 70 seconds to go in the third. And victory assured here. The fans start the chant as they get close to the 1-minute announcement here by PA announcer Brandon Cowie. On the near side, there goes Kyle Crew dancing through a couple of defense, but a one-arm takeaway by Chase Cook, and he gets the Mariners back away. off of the wing. Blake Power drops, shot goes off of his shin pad, and it's back the other way. Tom Sweeney, now Kyle Crew trying to get into the open, puts his head down, lugging, shot! Oh, and the puck just went wide on the stick side. 35 seconds remaining in the period. Into the back of the net, and that one put blindly out front by Owen Evers, but it does get to the point for Eric Stinson. Backhand pass, and that goes right through the crease. No one able to grab that. Now the Mariners do. Owen Ways just flips it in from center, takes a light bump as he'll dutifully get off for this final change. 13 seconds remaining, and the VIU Mariners looking to improve here in the new year. There's a shot off of the glove, and a one last great save for good measure, Matt Fleet. And he knocks that one away. And I got to tell you very quickly, as the Mariners celebrate, Don Miller in the second intermission said to me, he said, here's the save percentage for Matt Fleet. If it stays the same, I want to put him as a star, but they need to have 20 shots. That final shot with 4 seconds left to go by Kyle Crew gives the 20 shots. We might see Matt Fleet's name in the 3-star selection here tonight. So Leaf Jensen, Ryan Cirk, they shake hands with Tom Sweeney out near center ice. And same with linesmen's Duke Troll and Darren Martinuk. And the Mariners salute their home fans. And Cole McGuire gives the baseball knocked out of the park symbol as he's letting the UVic Vikes know that this is their home ice, and they might have suffered a loss in a shootout type fashion last night. So as I mentioned, a record crowd in attendance here tonight. You can see everyone piling out after a very thorough VIU Mariners victory, and there was hardly any holes that you could poke in the VIU Mariners game here tonight. So lucky seven different goal scorers for the VIU Mariners, and we'll get to them in a moment. But you got to think about the defensive bounce back by the Mariners. You know, on one night you concede 6 goals, and to come back the next night, less than 24 hours later, and to only allow 1 goal after allowing 6 the previous night, that's a pretty big accomplishment for the VIU Mariners. And their defense was stalwart tonight. And as I mentioned right at the end of the broadcast there, Cole McGuire, as he was coming over to shake hands with the referees, just for a second he took his stick and pretended like it was a baseball bat and saying, hey, we returned the favor here on home ice. We're playing for pride, and they certainly did just that. The VIU Mariners, 7 different goal scorers. It was such a complete team effort, and you know, they were able to shut down a couple of the highlight players that they weren't able to last night. J.J. Pickle, he was the first star last night at the Ian Stewart Complex, but tonight he was limited. He had limited space. Anytime he was in the slot looking for a rebound, someone named Nolan Wickham or Cole McGuire or Chase Cook, Tyson Pause, they were all clearing the traffic from out in front of Matt Fleet, who, as I mentioned, it was a .947 save percentage, as he only gets scored on the one time. Actually, I guess that'll be an even. The 20 shots, even .95 save percentage, which for any goaltender, absolutely fabulous. You'll take that every single night of the week, and twice on Saturday if you only let in 1 on 20 shots. And the Mariners, for their part, they did what they needed to do. That must be the beer talking, but you know what? I'll take any compliments I can get when I'm up here. And speaking of compliments, I want to thank you, the viewers and the listeners tonight. You guys really helped make this happen. And a great night here at the Nanaimo Ice Center. The VIU Mariners, 7 different goal scorers. We'll end off with that. And they were in no particular order: Ethan Jones, Hunter Burgesson, Blake Power, Landon Strom. There we go. And Chase Cook and Brandon Moody. 7 different goal scorers for the Mariners, and 7-1 is your final. The UVic Vikes, they took round 1 6-3. The Mariners returned the favor 7-1 here at the Nanaimo Ice Center in front of a record crowd tonight, 420. And I believe at our highest we had 97 viewers on this YouTube channel, the BCIHL YouTube channel, and Rogers 105. Thank you so much, everyone. Hope you're having a great intro to year 2026. And we'll see you next home game, January 17th, 1 week from now. And that's a 7:15 start here. The SFU Red Leafs in town. Have a good night, everyone.